looks like a rinky-dinky hospital if I've ever seen one.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Another sick patient. Ha ha ha.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy.
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country.
Oh,
joining us here at Pembroke.
we be looking
We're
fancy.
very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted.
It's raining.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea.
Put him on the
immediately.
stairs.
We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming,
What?
Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Like assistance to help him up the stairs? What is that? What you're gonna do? It is raining outside. He needs medical attention. He was already on the boat, and we're just y'all are just gonna stare at him. And she's close enough that she's like smelling him. Oh, this town needs help. Good thing I'm here. Okay, let's see. So, in the middle of all this, we have Mr. Swansea. His blood quality is at 6,000, the max. Let's kill him. Just kidding. The pillar of this community is Sean Hampton. 3,000 blood quality. But we're not the docs anymore, so we don't need to care about that. Okay.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that!
Excuse me.
Nah, it's my turn!
Oh! Oh!
Rotten or crusty, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Hi there.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
But I will.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Mr. Clay Cox, you want to act like that? I'll let you bleed. You do need to be more polite.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox.
Into heaven?
Let me assist you to that better place.
So, blood quality indicates how much XP you will obtain from a particular citizen. The higher the blood quality, the more XP you get. So we can mesmerize someone. To drink the blood of your prey, you'll first need to mesmerize them to lead them out of sight from others. Your mesmerize level must be equal or higher than the citizen's resistance. So now, we are going to mesmerize him with our gorgeous looks.
Bring this fading light into the shadow.
Follow the road trade.
Dance with him the
Yeah.
dance of life and death.
Come with me. Yeah. This music. Okay. Ooh. Press left click to embrace Clay Clocks or spacebar to release him. Embracing Clay will provide a massive XP boost, but be aware that there will be a consequence. Learning more about citizens and collecting their hints will increase the experience gained. But this is it. Do we embrace him or release him? I don't want to get in trouble. We'll release him. We're good. We attacked Release. Bye.
Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
And we just don't lead him to, like, the hospital or anything. We just bring him to this dark, dingy place with rats. You're not a very good doctor. Can I talk to him again?
Did I black out?
So now he's just not concerned about his wounds?
What happened?
Okay, I guess. I mean, not exactly how this type of stuff works.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
I mean, I can eat rats for the rest of my life, right? That's always an option. Bodies. You have a mask on her face? She does. But that person doesn't? Okay. You have a mask, but the other person doesn't. Oh, and you're just standing outside with blood on you. Okay. Get it? You're a nurse, just a little creepy though. Not gonna lie. Nothing else for me to get? Okay. It's freezing? You can go inside.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded
Okay.
man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Oh, thank you.
Already making the rounds. That's the Pembroke spirit.
No
I'll ask
problem.
our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
How do you already have my name on the door? It's been like 5 minutes of me getting here, and somehow you already have my name on the door? Oh, okay.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
How is Mr. Hampton?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Okay, now who's Dr. Swansea?
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
I'm sorry, you have blood on your hands, ma'am. You wanna, like, wipe it on yourself, or wash your hands, maybe? Or do you... This is just something you like. I get it, you're a nurse, you're used to blood, but, like, yeah, you got it on your hands, and you're pretty calm about it, but... Swansea, I only just met him.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Well, see, he knows me more than I know
It's
him.
right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I already know where my room
Thank
is.
you, Nurse Crane.
Bye, Nurse Crane. Go fix yourself. You look like a mess. Ooh, a case. And you, who are you?
Good evening, sir.
That
So it is
nose.
true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Okay, so how's your life in London? Oh, well, I mean, what's the situation
What
here?
is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Yeah. True, but, people are more important.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Aw, that's sad. Well, tell me about the staff, because, we need hints to unlock the other dialogue.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Okay, positive characters?
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl.
Cool.
She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse
She
I've
is
ever
a
worked with.
pearl, let me
A
tell you.
clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
You got the hots for her? Well, tell me about the management.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Okay. What about some personal questions? Okay, nope.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbs.
Bye. Okay, so what everyone we've learned about. We got Clay Cox. Nothing. Swansea, we know nothing. But we do know that he's convinced that Gwyneth Brannigan is overqualified as a nurse. And we haven't even met her yet, but we have a hint. But let's talk about this outfit though. That gold watch. That jacket though. Like that tie. Wearing a lot of red for a vampire. I mean, you still can, but I'm just saying, hi, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction,
Okay.
Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
So, you work for the hospital. You're gonna talk shit about the hospital. Oh, but don't worry. On the down low, you'll sell me a gun. Okay. Well, how's the situation around
How
here?
is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Okay, so you're smuggling weapons
Are
instead.
you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know, and by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Not wrong. Not wrong. What is your occupation? Selling guns and driving people to the hospital.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I'll bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
What do you mean most of the time? what happens to the other times? Do you just like not bring them here? I mean, what does that even mean? An odd question, but how's the sanitary situation?
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
Sound like you've had a rough time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
New investigation. Midnight in the Garden of Evil. Dun dun dun. Okay, got any personal questions? All hints. And I don't need a gun.
Goodbye, Milton.
So bye, Milton. Nice talking to you, my gun smuggling ambulance driver friend.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Right, this place is beautiful.
Dr. Reed, I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this.
Who are you?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And
Pippa.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
So, if I'm able to travel back to areas I've already been, I'm sure I can. I didn't want to bring up Pippa, but, I haven't unlocked everyone at the docks, so I'm sure I can go back. Because, I mean, I gotta unlock everyone else there. Look, I can mesmerize her. Just in the middle of the hospital. I can do a medical checkup. Oh, her blood quality. She's healthy. So, tell me about your life in London. How's the situation?
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
That sucks.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Ma'am, Pippa? Where are your eyebrows, honey? I don't see any. That is what we need to be talking about. That is scary. Okay, well, how long have you been a nurse?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Change your attitude, Missy. Pippa.
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
You know, your name is gonna be Peppa Pig. Because you need to get an attitude like Peppa. Peppa is happy and cheery. Right? She needs some brows, but she needs to be like Peppa Pig. Be happy, be cheery. Miss Peppa Hawkins. But anyway, how's the staff coping?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning doctors.
He got attacked. I would be a little grumpy too. And I dropped my wallet. But why is he so grumpy?
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Ooh. Well, that's sad. Milton, don't you worry about what anyone thinks about you. Just smuggle your guns, and that's all that. Okay.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Seemed pretty chatty to me. Now we gotta go back to Milton to ask him.
How would you describe the
Okay.
situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out.
Okay, I already heard that one. Personal questions, nothing. Okay, bye, Peppa.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Have a good day, Peppa. Ooh, hi, who are you?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland.
Thoreau?
I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
That's how you pronounce that, Thoreau? That looks like Thor to you. Dr. Thoreau Strickland. But okay, whatever. Dr. Thoreau Strickland. Your life in London. Tell me about yourself, Thoreau Strickland.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
You run your own experiments? What is that even supposed to mean? Are you like Frankenstein? You're gonna create him?
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
So you just doing some experiments, killing people? Is that what we're talking about here?
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am
Thank you.
honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
My only question is, so you have to go through training to become a doctor? If it was me that made you become a doctor, how old are you? How old am I? But, I'll be glad to help you.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
You right. And about the hospital?
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you want my
Do you
help?
need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products.
So you want
I
me to
see.
be your errand boy?
Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Oh look, a new investigation. Missing ingredients.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
I could see why we were smiling. Okay, some personal questions. Oh, here we go, another blue one. So tell me, these blood transfusion, what's your technique? What's your little spice that you throw in there?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Oh, well, tell me his story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Harvey Fiddick. Well, you know, talking about your experiments, you gotta remain neutral.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
I love how when you're talking to people, you can just hear random screaming in the back. And all of us just act so calm. Okay, well, bye, Dr. Strickland.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Yeah, just have fun with your experiments. Back here. Who are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival
That hair.
inconvenience
That
you,
forehead.
Inspector Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
You're a hater. You are a straight up hater. I just talked to someone that loves me. They love me. They want to be me. You just want to put me down? Well, my man over there, he does experiments. You know, I don't know what he's experimenting yet. But when I figure it out, I'm going to send him your way. We'll experiment on you. Because we're only going to have the lovers here of me in this hospital. You don't know who I am yet. But when I can, because I don't know what level you are. Level 4, I don't know what level my mesmerize is. Oh. But when it's high enough, you're the first to go, sir. Not yelling again. I'm canceling. He's gonna go down. I'm telling you, I didn't really want to kill any main characters, but he is going down. Nah, he ain't the energy we need in 1638. Nah. Peace, love, and positivity in this hospital. And that hair, that's bad. That forehead, that's bad. He reproduces with someone, those kids are gonna be butt ugly. I'm doing society a favor. But anyway, got a problem with me?
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please
Bring it to me.
feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
No, because I'm up here and being a doctor, and you know where you are? You're down here. Okay, that's where you at. You just want to be me. Well, yeah, jealousy, not gonna do you any good.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good.
You're acting like a
Don't
boy.
be ridiculous, Dr. Reed. A simple glance is enough for me to know you have nothing for me to envy.
No, Ackroyd.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Okay. First not blinding you.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Are you just mad because he wants to use my technique and not yours? Also, what is this whole moving you're doing? You are just moving like no tomorrow. Did you drink some coffee or something? You need to calm down.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick...
You're not even looking at me.
...to test an unproven procedure.
Your eyes, they need to be on me. Not the corner of your face, dude. Okay, I mean, now I can actually... Okay, there they are. They went away again. What are you looking at? I don't trust your judgment.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation?
Oops.
Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
I'll be like, oops. Abby. Can't try again. That's what I'll say.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Okay. You said a mouthful. Of your military service. When did I pick up he was in the military? Did I miss something?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money?
No.
Fame?
No.
Or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is
Dedicated.
that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I
Ackroyd?
only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
No. No, Ackroyd. You know, I saved so many lives. More lives than you would even know. More lives than you're ever gonna save. Can't wait till you're dead.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
I am facing the reality. I saved so many. And what did you do? I haven't done a gosh darn thing.
Thank you for your time.
Go.
We'll talk later.
Next time I'm gonna talk to you when you're dead. When I come to kill you. Where are you on here? What is my level? Mesmerize level? Is that 1? Okay, yeah, okay, so I'm a little far off on killing you, Ackroyd. Oh, but when I can, you are on the top of my hit list. Okay, so he disproves modern medicine. Strickland, my dude here. His blood transfusions have not been successful yet. Wonder how many he's done. Fiddick, is blaming himself for his injury. And then we got other people. Okay, I think that's Nurse Crane again. Yeah. I think that's Strickland. I think if we talk to Strickland.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip that. Nope, I thought there was gonna be like a hint of
Goodbye,
being like, hey, you know Ackroyd? Yeah, he hates your guts.
Never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
No, no, no.
Goodbye.
What in the world? You were walking away. How did I... Him.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Well, maybe you should have told us what was going on in the first place. Let's see. Do a medical checkup. Yeah, my arm.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Right, okay, so your life in London. Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Okay, well, tell me about the hospital.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
I don't know why we can't do surgery. I don't even know if you can do surgery in this game, but if so, let's go.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wood and nails, not flesh and bones.
Okay, so some personal questions. Why do you feel guilty about your Maybe if you didn't lie, it could have saved you already.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Okay. Harvey, what? Harvey's blaming himself for his injury. Harvey's wife died during the war. Oh look, I could kill him because he's got a mesmerized level of 1. Nah. Yet. What do you mean? Died because of you?
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Actually, that's a little sad.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick, unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself, but I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
What are your children doing now? About the death of your wife.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
Sad. Are your children alright?
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
Poor little bleeders. That's kind of a weird thing to call your kids, but bye.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Okay. Oh, that was a little odd movement. Okay, so we got Aykroyd, Crane, Milton. Who else we got? Unknown. Unknown. You look weird.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
It will never ever end. Who are you?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
My name is Mortimer Goswick, and my throat hurts. How painful is your throat?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
What is this? What does that even mean? So, tell me about yourself,
Tell
though.
me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Oh, okay.
I have
Hi.
to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Oh, hi, lady. Sitting here like a creep, I see.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on
Beatrice?
Dr. Reed? I've heard much
your
of your
son?
talents as a physician.
Beatrice and whatever the frick his name was, Mortimer. Names on point.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll
My
cover all
Mortimer.
the expenses. That's all that
Oh, so you
matters.
got that money. You're that rich.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
You killed your husband? Is that where we getting at? One of those stories.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What does that even mean?
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
She is a Carol Baskin. Exactly. So, tell me about your arrival, but also, what happened to your little Mortimer? Do you have to be here?
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Peppa Hawkins, I know. She's a little rough around the edges. We're working on it, okay? The ambulance driver, he was attacked. Happens often. Just, I'm gonna work on the hospital. Don't matter the price, though, because you got that money, as you told me.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
You guys have a whole, like, back section here. Why are you complaining?
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Bye, Beatrice. Let's see, can you tell me anything now?
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Oh. Okay.
I have to...
Bye, Mortimer.
Time with me.
Let's see. Strickland. Brain.
So many deaths. Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
So many places I can go. Oh, actually, that's... Oh, I can't sprint when I'm in the hospital. A back door? Oh, the places I can go. Oh, wait, who are you? Dude, I just...
Sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Excuse me? Oh, but act cool. Hey, how's it going? Totally was not looking in on you. What was that about mass graves?
Tomorrow.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
How do you go from doctor to this? Talking to a dead body in the back. Do you work here alone?
Do you work here alone? Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
So, why are you watching them?
Why do you have to watch these bodies? Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
So why'd they close it?
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Oh. So you're not afraid of the dead?
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How'd you get the job, even though I'm pretty sure it's an easy thing to apply for also? How easy is it to mesmerize you? Oh, 4? 4? Okay.
How did you get this job? After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Milton Hooks? I don't know if I know who that is.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Okay. Have we met before?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Did say that.
Story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved.
She is. She's so relieved because I found her. And then I kissed her. She's still alive, don't you worry. Kissed her. You know, that's whatever. But she's so happy that I found her. Okay. Is that it? You believe in life after death?
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after
Why are you so aggressive, Johnny?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Okay, so, are you ready to die then?
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed.
Okay.
I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Goodwill won't last?
You really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
You're a little bit scary, and you're a pawnbroker. Okay.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Okay, well, who do you sell
Who
to?
comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my
I guess.
clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Yeah, well, what do you sell?
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Okay, well, what do you have?
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Codeine. Okay. Opium. And that. Okay, bye.
It never ceases to amaze me how you, the dead, seem peaceful and lost at the same time.
Yeah, you're a little creepy, my dude. Oh. Okay. Letter. Dear love, I finally found the missing money for the fee asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about nothing now except getting better, for I took care of everything. I asked some of our neighbors, and they told me that this Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. He may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is then guaranteed. I'm sorry I refused to pay first, and I realize now that the important thing is that you get better soon. The Pembroke Hospital is a good place, I heard, despite the bad behavior of this Milton Hooks. I promise you that everything is okay now. I'll see you in your clean bed as soon as possible. The promise of love. Nikolai? I don't know. Oh my god, Milton, you are just... Milton, you smuggle drugs, and now you're doing this. I want to like you, my dude, because I know an ambulance driver can be hard, but, anything of good? I mean, to be honest. Oh, this body right here. Oh, just some shillings. Okay. Back inside. You have to find our Gwyneth person. Anything in here? Nope. Oh, more outside. Okay. Hi, my dude. Okay. Sure, there's nothing in there.
Daily routine.
Oh, hi!
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Thomas, don't let them put you down. Your face, it's a little on the rough side, but you're still beautiful.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars. If you get my drift.
I get your drift. Okay, well, can I do anything?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Your shirt, it's I mean, your body, it's glitching through your shirt, your gown.
It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Right there on your little tum-tum, I can see it. But who's treating you?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Aw, that's so sweet. Let's see. You served for a long time?
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
None taken.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Oh, there you are. How are you
Good
doing?
evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not
Good.
myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Your flock. I don't know if he means, I'm sure he means like flock of people because he's got the little cross there, blah blah blah. But like, could you imagine if he meant like flock? Like sheep or something?
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Corruption?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Despair.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
William Bishop's
How did you
den.
end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Well, then why did he abduct you?
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hallcroft.
Miss Hallcroft who?
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Or a vampire. That too.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
The Wet Boot Boys? There's a gang called the Wet Boot Boys? Okay.
Who leads the gang now?
I'm
Since
so
Clay Cox went
scared.
missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Clay Cox. He went missing. We saved him. Now Edwina, the wife. With Digby. This whole gang is a mess.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long. You know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint. Not even criminals.
Okay, so you made some friends.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognized Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living? We already know that. I'm not even gonna click on that. Tell me, how do you feel?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in
That could
good
be us,
hands
but you
here.
playing.
Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Bye, Mr. Sean.
We'll talk again later.
Even though technically your name should be seen, because that's what it looks like. Is he over here? Yeah. Oh, boy, I was just talking to him. It's Sean, but I want to call it Scene. Bye. Wait, what is this? Oh, now this is about the use of garlic and wooden steaks. I don't know, a cooking recipe. We'll go with that. Okay, so it's under a weakness of vampires. Too long for me. Okay. Hi, lady.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm
Mortal?
inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me
Oh, Thelma.
Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Oh. A thing. Oh, a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
So, tell me, how do you feel then?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
Not that I would know.
Hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of pustulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
You ever heard of this syndrome I'm not gonna try to pronounce? You heard of it?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome?
Cotard's?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I don't know immortality. Lift shirt, show bullet wound. What's this? You vampire. You don't even know anything about being a vampire, you poser. What's your level? Level 2? You might just have to be on my list. You want to be a poser?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right?
You're dressed like one.
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
What?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Oh, and we'll take care of you.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see.
I get it.
Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
You don't have to worry about them. So I'll be coming for you. Aha, aha. But no, for real though, like, who are you?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Okay.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the
Hi.
Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Tell them how it is. For you. Peppa Pig!
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Oh, I thought I got a hint for her. I guess
Goodbye,
not.
Nurse Hawkins.
I thought maybe something about the whole not being nice. There you are, Milton. I heard some stuff about you.
Milton. Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yeah, I am.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Not a bad thing.
Goodbye, Milton.
That and smuggling weapons, I am telling you. Oh, Gwyneth is over here? Gwyneth, I've heard some stuff about you too, honey.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea
You
has
the
already
Pearl?
told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan.
Okay.
Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Okay, so again, with every new person in the hospital, we gotta ask the situation, the staff.
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
The invisible enemy.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Did the hospital fail?
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Okay, tell me about the
I'm
staff.
not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Speak up.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay, well, is there anyone that stands
Is there
out?
anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
So you wouldn't tell me if I told you to speak up, but then you're gonna tell me? Okay, so some personal questions. You know, Tippett praises you.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.